Good evening, wrestling fans. What is going on? You have reached Thursday night. Finally, that means one night before the weekend starts. But more importantly, you have reached the filler section segment with my co-host William Richmond. I am Dan Valdez, and tonight, this evening, what do we have here? Is
Yeah,
it Beige Ink in the house?
the third man.
The third man, and then also that third man comes with a name that is TTG, baby. Go ahead and say hi. Oh, he's repping his NWO as well. And tonight
You know it.
we will.
You know it.
Oh yeah, we do. Tonight we will be discussing the best day out of the weekend to me when I was younger, when I was coming up as a young buck wrestling fan. Saturday wrestling. And we have a lot to talk about because, despite what people may think, that's really the only time wrestling was on.
Yeah, I mean, it was usually for me Saturday mornings. I'm a golden era kind of kid, so it was two shows Saturday. Sometimes it was like two shows Sunday. We would get Challenge and Superstars, and then what was it, like once a month they would do Saturday night's main event, which was always it was huge.
It was a
growing
treat.
up.
I mean, it was basically to me, it was the pay-per-view before the pay-per-view, because back then there was only the big four. I couldn't fathom it, them doing it now, because there's wrestling on practically every day of the week. But to me, it was like I always look forward to Saturday.
Right.
What about you there, third man? What's your experience with that, with Saturday morning wrestling? It appears we've come under some technical difficulty, so I think what we're going to do is we'll wait till he comes back on. He'll kick back over, but, I'll just start it. I mean, yes, I had the same thing. I had the challenge, and we had Superstars.
I remember vividly growing up near Philadelphia. The champion was Bob Beck. Yep, I remember why that Larry Zbyszko turned on Bruno.
Yeah.
I remember when Bob Beckman's belt got destroyed and he was on the floor and stuff. Why? I remember all that stuff. Man. That was my stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, that was way before mine, but I just remember, as I said, Saturdays were a treat. That was the day we all look forward to. I mean, it was nothing. It's come a long way, from Saturday morning, Saturday. We'll wait till he comes back on. He'll kick my butt. I just remember it. But then, the Saturday night main event. I mean, as I said, it was a pay-per-view before the pay-per-view, because there were no enhancement talent. There was no, jobbers. We'll just say what it is. There was no jobbers. It was actual feature bouts.
Yeah,
Plus,
it was pretty much like televised. Like, now that we're older, it was like televised house shows, and I didn't like how the top guys would be on, like they would open the show or be on like mid card, because it kind of made you not want to stay up to watch, like, to see like the end of the show, because you would have like a Big Boss Man versus Jim Powers match at the end of the show, or like Coco Beware versus Akeem or somebody like that to close the show out. So I mean, other than that though, Saturday Night's Main Event is probably one of my favorites. One of my favorite shows, since I've been watching wrestling since I was probably about 4 or 5 years old. Just like you said, pay-per-view before the pay-per-view, just a lot of just really top-notch matches you get every week. It was just the best to me.
Yeah, I mean, what were your thoughts on Saturday Night Main Event there, TTG?
An event. It was a happening because you didn't get wrestling on Saturday night. on network TV. We got it on Saturday afternoon, and that was it. So if you saw something like that, along with the neon light intro and all that stuff, you just knew you were getting something special.
Yeah, I mean, I remember most of it was with me. It was like one of the one that stands out to me. I mean, there are a bunch of them that stand out, but the big one that stands out to me was the night that Kurt Hennig broke the belt. He took the hammer to the belt at the end of the match, which now is, rumored to be the new hardcore. Well, at the time, the hardcore title. I mean, go ahead.
I do remember that episode. Probably wouldn't be one of my faves, but that one does stand out. I don't know. Putting Terry in there with the Genius just didn't really do much. We never really saw Perfect get that title shot. It just that it was kind of aside from the belt getting smashed up, there was really nothing to report.
Yeah, I mean, it was that, and what was the other match? I remember there was another. Was it Perfect and Beefcake?
I believe so.
I mean, I just remember the end of that match. I do remember, yes, Terry and Leap and Lanny opened the show.
Yep.
But outside of Saturday Night Main Event, I'm going to bring up one show that really doesn't get discussed enough, I don't think, and that's WCW Saturday Night. Now, there were some underrated matches on that card. That was really their foray into professional wrestling.
Yeah, it really was. It really Saturday Night. You can't really talk about Saturday Night if you're gonna talk about like WCW Pro, because that was what we got before Saturday Night. Saturday Night was like it was almost kind of like how Brandon Gorilla would do All American Wrestling with the studio show, and then they would like flash to recorded house show matches before they got to the whole MGM thing, which was probably one of my faves. Like, you open the show, the ring is spinning and all of that. I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. I like the spinning ring, but then as we know, Impact later took that gimmick with them with the 6 Sides of Terror. But I mean, just the matchups alone, where I mean, I was watching, as you know, I was watching Saturday Night today, and I mean, there were some underrated matches on the card. I mean, Regal Steamboat, we'd pay for that today.
Yes.
That could highlight. I mean, you can jump in at any time there, TTG. But I think, that, I mean, there was that. What else? The main event of that one was who was it? It was Sting and it was Sting and somebody. It was Sting and Flair. Yeah, Sting and Flair against Psycho Sid. And I think Arn Anderson for some reason. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch that. But I was like, what? But then they were talking about the night before, like at Super Brawl, where Arn Anderson and Pretty Paul Roma dropped the belts.
The worst horseman in history.
No, I give that title to Mongo.
Paul Roma.
Paul Roma?
1A, 1B.
1A, 1B. I'd agree to disagree. I mean, and then, we're going to touch on all the Saturday shows, even the greatest Saturday show of all time. I'm going to put this above main. Exactly. Above main event.
Above main event.
Above main event.
Can't agree with you there, buddy.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to put it there just for now. Just for now. Only because, like, it gives our matches. Like, the matches there were just fun matches. You know what I mean? We knew that there was nothing, to gain from it. We knew that, it was just there just to keep you entertained. They were basically trying to carry on the challenge tradition.
Yeah.
All right. I think we have him back now. Everything okay on your end? I'm not sure. We're having technical difficulties, guys. We apologize for this. This normally doesn't happen, but you know what? He could be the silent guy in Beijing. I don't know.
A silent partner.
A silent partner. So,
Yeah, I mean, but shotgun, no, shotgun gave you a chance to see a lot of guys that you didn't really see, on Raw and whatever other shows that they had going on at the time. I think Raw might have been their only TV slot around that time. I believe Shotgun was like 95, 6-ish into like 97. I don't know how long it was around. Hasn't really been talked about much, but it gave you a chance to see, those guys, those mid card guys in a main event spot, and kind of giving you just a look at what you got coming.
Oh yeah, I mean we had good rivalries. The rivalry that stood out to me was always the Kai and Tai and Val.
Yeah, that was one of the best.
Kai and Tai and Val were that to me made Shotgun Saturday, and then after that it just kind of fell off.
Yeah, they didn't really
capitalize on that like they could have.
Nah, yeah, that was money. Val was money, not just money shot. Val was money.
Not only that, but I mean, there was also early DX. They ran Saturday night. They ran Shotgun. I mean, they had the European title match, I believe, on Shotgun Saturday, where their version of the finger poke of doom.
That was Raw. That was an episode of Raw.
It was an episode of Raw. I remember that. Apparently, Ms. Bell is on this evening. Hello, Marky.
Good evening, ma'am. But yeah, Kai and Tai Val could have done a lot more if it was put on. If it was put on more during Raw instead of just like mid segments, but it was a perfect fit for that show.
It really was. I mean, it was their show to basically just showcase them. It was a springboard show.
Mm-hmm.
If you were up and coming, or basically a show me what you got before we put you on Raw, before we put you on anything else, even a pay-per-view at the time, because SmackDown was still kind of in its infancy as well.
Yeah, and it gave you a lot of tryout matches too. You don't really, stuff that they don't really talk about, but it gave you a lot of tryout matches with guys too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I believe there was an early sighting of the Hardys. Dean Ambrose,
AJ Styles, I believe.
Styles was on there. I mean, Edge too.
Yeah.
If you dig hard enough, you'll find today's superstars who are just jobbing to people.
Right. Unfortunately, Shotgun never made it to the network. Velocity did. Velocity was another Saturday show too.
Yep.
It was really really strong in the beginning. I was when I first put it on the network, I went back and I watched them again. It was really strong in the beginning, and that kind of tapered off, kind of like Sunday Night Heat did at its onset. But Velocity wasn't a bad show either.
All right, first. I think we're all set. How you doing over there, Tim? You good? Can you hear us? He's repping his Eagles. He's ready to go. I just, we can't hear you, man. Yeah, we're just gonna have to get back to him as soon, because we're getting zero sound.
Yeah,
but it's all good. I'm sure he'll have it all figured out. We'll keep him in here. I'm sure once he says something, we'll hear him. But yeah, I mean, Shotgun was Shotgun to me, and Velocity was, to me, more of a version of All American Wrestling, and I know you remember that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that was more with Brain, and I was watching a couple of old episodes of that. They even had a stretch of episodes where there was like a split studio with Piper.
Well, now, you guys hear me?
There he is.
Yeah, we got you.
We got you now. Glad to have you back. So now that we have you back, we're still talking Saturday wrestling. We're talking Shotgun. We're talking Velocity. Throw in your thoughts.
Shotgun and Velocity weren't really my thing, to be honest. They were like the big shows, just light version, like recaps and stuff like that. Shotgun Saturday Night was okay sometimes because it was geared more towards adults in a way, but not totally. So it was okay. But yeah, my main things were main event and superstars on Saturday morning. And yeah. But Velocity, I was not a big fan of that. Sunday Night Heat was okay a lot, especially when it served as a pre-show to pay-per-views.
Yeah. Yep. Which yeah, it was kind of like Sunday night. Well, first it was like free for all on the preview channel, and then they went to Sunday Night Heat, and which is what we now know as the pre-show. But yeah, I really want to get into Saturday night's main event, just because for me, that was like the Saturday show of all Saturday shows. We didn't get it, but like once a month, like Dan alluded to earlier, it was pay-per-view for people who didn't really get to see the pay-per-views. Just high quality. So let's, aside from that one 1988 episode that was basically like for the people who didn't really get to see WrestleMania on pay-per-view.
There we go.
Which main event episode for you kind of like stood out aside from the Terry Andre rematch, the double Dave Hebner, as I like to call it.
Right. Oh, my match. I mean, it wasn't even a match. It was after the match. It was the breakup of the Mega Powers. That stands. If we're going to throw out Andre and Hogan and the Double Daves, it's
wait a minute. I gotta mute you on that one, man. We don't say his actual name. It's all right though. It's a short mute. Next time it's 2 minutes in the box.
Yellow and red guy. The yellow and red guy. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Better.
My bad.
But anyways, when Yellow and Red and Macho.
Yeah,
broke up.
They broke up over Miss Elizabeth. The acting was actually pretty good in that. Now, like Macho had me believing he was crazed with jealousy, but then again, I was a kid too. So.
He really was, though. From what I understand, he really was.
He didn't do that in real life.
Yeah, Terry was on some other stuff. Dan, what about you? What was your favorite main event?
My favorite main event. I mean, as I said, like the one that stands out was when Hennig broke the belt. After Terry and the Genius, went that one. Another one to me was obviously the double Dave Hebner, so that's up there as to my like 1 and 2, just not in that order, because you can't talk Saturday night main event and not bring that one into the fold.
Yeah, oh, definitely, and that one is at the top for me, not because of Terry losing, but because of Andre winning. Even under the circumstances, is like. That was the not even a rub, because he was at the end of his career, but that was kind of for me what solidified who Andre the Giant was, regardless of whether it was a dirty win or he wanted the forfeits or whatever. There's still it's still in the books that in 1988 Andre the Giant was champion for 7 or 8 minutes.
7 or 8 minutes, the shortest title reign ever.
Exactly.
But it was Andre. Did he not deserve a little bit better than that?
We've discussed this like numerous times. Andre should have at least had a run.
Yes.
Not a 7 minute. Go out there and wave your hand. Yokozuna had the same run, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, but if I had to pick like a number 2 though, wow, that's rough. Because like that one that is always at the top of everybody's list.
Didn't Orndorff turn on the red and yellow guy on that show as well?
I believe it was at the very beginning. Yeah, at the very beginning. And when he that stretch of months or weeks or whatever where he was coming out to his music too. That one.
That was a big heel move. That's a big heel move.
Yeah. He got some heat off of that one.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Now, was that a Saturday night main event where Andre was choking out the red and yellow man, and then Hacksaw was out there just trying to beat him down with the 2x4 and nothing happened. He just sat there and just.
I don't think so. Oh, you know what?
I think that was.
I forgot. No. It just hit me what my number 2 was.
Oh, I think I might know what it is, but go ahead and say it.
Andre and Jake.
Yes.
Andre and Jake. Yes. Well, Andre, Jake, and Damien. I'm sorry. I don't want to leave out
third party in that one.
You don't want to piss Peter off. I don't want Andre, Jake, and Damien. Make sure I include everybody. But yeah, that one was one of my favorites too. That feud just in itself was probably one of my favorites, and it was cool that's when it started because it was kind of like the turning of the page away from Jake and Rick Rude, who were actually, that was a really good match that night too between Jake and Rick because that was what Rick was wearing Cheryl on his tights.
And that reaction from Andre when Jake pulled that snake out was priceless. I'll never forget it.
Yes, it was.
Which led to Damien's Royal Rumble elimination.
Yes, Damien is the only animal of sorts, or
the only non-human
reptile. Yes, to have a. I don't know. Did Horn? I don't really. Are we counting Hornswoggle as a human being?
We'll say 2/3 of one.
Yes, no.
A third of one. I mean,
he was a McMahon on paper.
It's right there in the middle.
He was a McMahon on paper, so I mean,
say a little half and half. Yeah,
we'll say half. Half works for
right. So yeah, okay. So Damien is the only non-human with a Royal Rumble elimination and happened to eliminate a 500-pound man. Good job. Kudos to Damien. Rest in peace. Earthquake killed him on a Saturday.
He killed him on. He killed him on.
Sure did. Oh boy, I was upset about that. I was really, really.
The first time when I saw it, and I was a kid, like, who is going to clean that up?
Now, see, if we're going to go that route, my favorite Saturday wrestling moment by far was when Macho got bit with the snake.
Oh yeah,
Macho got bit with the snake. Everybody was up in arms because we ain't never seen nothing like that before. And it's not only that. I just remember on Saturday that they censored it.
Just like they censored Ron Bass ripping Brutus Beefcake's head open with that spur in 1988.
Yep, they censored it, but then I remember on Primetime Wrestling that night they showed it.
But, hold on. Sorry for a second. We're 20 minutes into the show. Tim, I got something for you. Give me a second.
Oh boy.
Yeah! There it is.
Yeah!
That's right. Me and him were talking. I had known about that because, as you can see, his hat of the week is from your Philadelphia Phillies. That's right. Make Mike Schmidt proud.
I was this close to wearing my Derek Coleman Sixers jersey too.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
That's reaching in the archives.
You need to put the bird up there.
Yeah, you got the bird up there. We don't have any Randall Cunningham jerseys though.
Randall Cunningham. What about Donovan McNabb? What about Ron Jaworski? What about Bubby Brister for Pete's sake?
You could say for fuck's sake.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
You can do that.
Trying to respect y'all's thing. Yeah. What about Bubby Brister, man?
Because Randall Cunningham is now the chaplain for Dan and I's Las Vegas Raiders. That's why.
That's right.
Reverend Randall, yes. Reverend Randall. Not to be confused with Reverend Slick. We don't want to get those two mixed up.
Well, since we go ahead,
you dress them up the right way, they might look a little bit alike.
You are very right about that.
All right, and I'm going to do a little plug real quick. All right, guys. For those of you watching, we're on YouTube now. We are public. We are the filler segment on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share. Right down there, there should be a button. You do that. Tell your friends, tell your girlfriend, tell your friend's girlfriend. I don't care. Come on.
Yep, right there.
Help us grow. Help us grow. We're a show for you and you alone, the wrestling fan.
Like and subscribe.
That's right.
Like and subscribe.
Yep, and that is our plug for now. Of course, we're probably going to go back to that later because come on, this is our first public show. I mean, and we're still discussing Saturday wrestling. Yeah. Saturday wrestling, and then what else? What other shows did we have? I mean, as I said, WCW Saturday Night was just like, to me was. I mean, it was everything. I mean, especially when I was watching today, I told Will here that I was there for Ricky Steamboat dancing to Whoop, There It Is. With the crowd chanting it for him.
Wow.
I'm like, okay.
And no PN News sighting either. That was what really got me.
Oh,
Tim, I'm good for throwing a name out there. Don't worry about it.
In the spirit of Van Hammer, We can do this.
Van Hammer.
You should never mention his name again.
No, ever, never. But he was a staple. He was another one. He TV
really
champ.
was.
He was TV champ for a little bit.
A little bit was
Which
when he
was heavily defended on Saturday. Yeah, heavily defended. Arn Anderson had a string of TV. Johnny B. Bad had a string of TV championship matches. Who?
Stinger did too.
Yeah, Sting. Sting was kind of, I don't know. Sting should not have been TV champ. Like, that's not the rub that a guy like that did.
Austin did.
Oh, yeah. But he needed it, though.
Stunning Steve.
Sting was one of those guys that the only non-world title he needed was the U.S. title. Like, putting a TV title on him, and I know it was early, but putting it on him, was kind of pointless. It was kind of pointless, I mean, but his feud with Muta over the TV title was pretty good, though.
That was classic.
Yes.
And then we also can't forget one of the GOATs of all time of TV title holders, the Disco Inferno.
Old Glenn.
He's so cocky. He's so cool. He's just a disco dancing fool. Yep.
Yep.
I'm still upset that Alex Wright really didn't get much of a run on one because I would have loved to see the
dance off. Can we not ever? Can this be the last time you do that?
Don't ever do that again, Dan.
I'm gonna do it again.
Never do that again. I mean, you can blame it on what you're drinking, but don't do it again.
No, I wouldn't even do that.
And Alex Wright, his problem was he couldn't cut promos. That's why he didn't get pushes.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's basically what I'm now calling the Vince McMahon effect because he said the same thing about Cesaro. It's just they can't, they can't really, get the English language down to their liking, and that's probably why he didn't get pushed.
In Cesaro's defense, he does speak 4 other languages, though.
It's a shame because these guys have great looks. They have great move sets. They have, total skill sets. But just because they can't cut a promo, give them a manager. That's what.
Yep.
That's what they used.
That's what they used to do.
Oh yeah,
they used to do that. But you don't see that anymore. Like the manager is extinct. The manager is just as useful as a center on a basketball team now. Like you don't really. There's.
Hell, Cornette shits on the whole business, but pay him. The guy can cut a promo like nobody else.
Yeah, he can, but nobody wants to give him a job because he
shits on everybody, and he's too old school.
Yep.
For everybody's liking.
My long guy.
Yeah, definitely.
He's professional wrestling. He's not sports entertainment.
Not at all. Not at all. But cool. I mean, at least he doesn't like Vince Russo, and I'm in a good place with that. So.
Yeah.
I'm in a good place with,
Russo can stay wherever he is.
Creative control on a pole match or something. I don't know. I mean, TV title on a pole match.
Right.
I mean, I was one of those that legit thought that Vince McMahon sent him to WCW to ruin them. Because he damn sure did a good job of it.
Yeah, he did. He didn't waste no time neither. He moved quick.
He sure did.
Quick.
New blood.
Oh, I liked it. I mean, I was okay with the new blood for a bit. I mean, for like a day, and then I'm like, okay, this is.
They had some of the wrong guys in that faction.
But to be fair, I like the No Limit Soldiers better.
I did like that. Big Swole.
Big Swole.
And we ain't talking about Cedric Alexander's wife neither.
No, we're not. But I mean, we're talking about Saturday wrestling. I mean, I kind of want to get into this next half hour because guess what time it is? Oh, it's everybody's favorite time right here on the filler segment where I bust out some commercials from the past, give us a little break for a little while, and when we come back, once again, that's in the house. That's right down there. Not Beijing. And our special guest, the third member, TTG, baby. That's right. So we'll be right back. I got a nice commercial for you guys. You might remember this little gem from the 90s. Here we go.
On the plains of Africa, one would find the following: the herbivore, or plant eater, the carnivore, or meat eater, and the boyardivore, known as mankind of the WWF.
Have a nice day.
He's never without his overstuffed beef ravioli and his core.
Beefy.
Uh-oh.
Unmistakable. Beef ravioli definitely feeds the need.
It's the perfect ravioli for all mankind.
Chef it. Uh-huh. Yeah. Chef it. Uh-huh. Getting chefy with the rock. He's hot. Got the best of everything to make us good time rock. Got a real fine ride with the chef inside. And we getting chefy with it.
Laurent says, don't be a jabroni, eat your ravioli.
I think he's getting chefy.
One more.
People say it's tough to be in a big show, but I gotta tell you, it has its advantages. Playing with the neighborhood kids is always fun. And hailing a cap is no sweat. The thing I like best about being so big is I always have room for my favorite meal, Chef Boyardee overstuffed Italian sausage ravioli. It's the only meal large enough to satisfy my oversized hunger.
All right. I think we're all set.
Wow. Big Show had hair. You know that's a. I'm a bald guy, so I can make that joke.
I think they should redo that commercial with Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
That or even the honeycomb commercial.
Yeah,
Like they did with Andre.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
And then there's BZ. That's what she said. I just wanted to do that joke. I'm sorry, you'll never see me again.
No. That's not true. We're back, people. We're back. And we're talking about Saturday wrestling right here on the filler segment. Find us on YouTube. Because starting today, we're live, people. The show for the wrestling fans, by the wrestling fans. Like, subscribe, share. Tell your friends. Tell your girlfriend. Tell your friend's girlfriend. I don't care. Just tell everybody. And subscribe.
Everybody. And you can tell everybody
that this is your show.
There's a man.
So now, as we're on the subject of Saturday wrestling, I think now the Saturday wrestling that really matters is TakeOver.
Yeah.
Is TakeOver. And most of the time, Saturday wrestling does better than the Sunday wrestling, which, it's not supposed to happen.
Very true. But we've had some really good takeovers. Not even Big Four weekend takeovers. It can just be, I don't think it was a Big Four the first time they went to Chicago, and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, second match of the night, was just
they tore the house down.
Man. Wow.
Stole the show.
Yes, second match of the night. Like, okay, what do we do from here? I really think that honestly, I really think that Vince should come up with a Slammy or name it after like the Savage Steamboat match for match of the year or something like that. But that was just one. That was one of many classic takeover matches. That one I would put right up there with Sasha and Bailey, honestly. If we're talking about takeover matches, since I would definitely put that one up there with Sasha and Bailey.
Sasha and Bailey was a good one. And then you know what? If we're gonna do that, you might as well throw in Sammy and Nakamura.
Yes. Yeah, Shin's debut.
Shin's debut and Sammy's exit from NXT, because despite what we may feel about old Sam Zayn, he was running it in NXT.
Yeah, he was. He wasn't annoying, but I liked him then. He's just this whole
This whole, like,
liberator and
Fidel Castro
just
guys, and he's
dumbass
Canadian.
cats.
It makes zero sense. He's Canadian. He's not Cuban.
No,
I think that's part of what the heat is, though, and I kind of dig it. I mean, I have a thing I call delightfully annoying with heels. It's like they're annoying, but it's funny, and it's funny to me because he pisses everybody off. That's what a heel is supposed to do, though.
I can't stand. He's doing his job. I can't stand him.
It's not really X-Pac heat. It's close, but it's not really X-Pac go away heat.
No, it's not X-Pac heat. No, you got to do something really bad to get that. Or, post-Mania Reigns heat. We all remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But staying on the particular day of the week, we're going to Saturday still. Not going anywhere.
Where would you guys put that Revival Ciampa Gargano tag match at TakeOver with the double tap out?
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm not going to call him by their new names. When Dawson reached out to Wilder and held his hand right before they tapped out, I lost my mind. I was done. It was entertaining, and it had a good mixture of entertainment and brutality. I mean, those guys went hard.
Yeah.
They really did. I mean, so we're in agreement that we got basically 1 and 1A, because you could put them in any order on those takeover matches. Was definitely
I wouldn't even because
Sasha Bailey, and then you go Zayn Nakamura. And
I don't know. I would honestly say that Pete Dunne Tyler Bate match was better than Shin and Sami Zayn.
Really?
In my opinion, I really think it was.
Okay.
Simply because, like, a lot of NXT fans are really well versed in like indies and smaller promotions like Impact and ROH, so they know they knew guys like Shin and like Sami Zayn before they got to NXT. Who really knew Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate before they even got to that match? And I think wasn't that a tournament match too, or was it just a regular UK championship? Either way.
Either way. I mean, does it matter? They put on a show.
Yeah, and it was the newness of both guys that kind of gives them that edge for me, because like I said, a lot of the NXT fans are well versed in like smaller promotions and indies and stuff like that. Like, I don't really get into the indies. It's a lot to follow. I'm doing what I can, but if I hear about a highly touted free agent, I'm pretty sure he was the man. That person was the man somewhere on the indie scene or in another promotion somewhere. But like I said, Bate and Pete Dunne, nobody knew who they were. They were unknowns. Like I said, it was the newness, and they went out there and they put on probably one of the better matches in NXT history.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I can't front. Yeah, it was a good match, but you want to know another one that gets thrown under the bus on this one? I thought was a good match that should be thrown into the mix. Owens Balor. NXT.
Which
That was a great match. The one in Japan?
One?
The one in Japan. Yeah, the one in Japan.
Yeah, the one in Japan was really good.
That was a Saturday. It was a Saturday morning because I was at dialysis, and that's the one thing. I had a 5 o'clock appointment for dialysis, and I'm like, oh, screw this. If I'm going to sit here for 4 hours, I'm watching this.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you,
they did have good streaming matches.
I had all them old heads, trying to like look over, see what I'm doing, because I had that thing up. I didn't give a shit who heard me. I didn't have headphones. I didn't give a fuck. I mean, it was just me and a bunch of people like 65 plus. I mean, but it's like, I'm watching wrestling. I don't care what you guys do. You can watch the God channel for all I care, but this is what I'm watching. Shout out to the God channel.
Yeah, that one was a good one. Finn and Samoa Joe in London. That one was a good one.
Yeah, I like this. I like this paint.
Samoa Joe put on some bangers too with Shin.
Yeah. Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. His takeover matches with Shin. That storyline they had when he was just showing up and beating up people until he got what he wanted from her. He basically did what Batista should have done instead of standing on the ramp and drooling on himself. He should, go interrupt the match, Dave. Go and powerbomb somebody who's 190 pounds. But
Give me what I want.
Right, but Joe went out there and he
What I really want.
He healed it up that whole entire story, and that takeover match was one of the better ones too. Sorry, Nia, that we're talking about Samoa Joe, but he's a big part of takeover.
Wait, Nia's watching?
Oh,
Yes,
she's
she is.
watching. She's
Nia,
go
can
ahead.
we get a fuck Joe in the comments, please? I haven't got it in a while. I need a fuck Joe in the comments.
Hey man, you saw. I don't know if you saw, but yes, I made the mistake of playing his theme for her as we opened the show.
I saw it.
It wasn't
The look on her face.
It wasn't a mistake. I'm so glad that we're doing it this way. And if this was a studio show, we'd have to cut the commercial. Oh yeah,
Y'all would have got all the smoke. There it is.
There it is.
Thank you, Nia.
There it is. You know what? She won't disappoint. But come on. I mean, you're right. If you're gonna talk NXT, you have to talk Samoa Joe. You can't keep him out of the conversation. And another one is Bob Roode for his run there. He diet flared it that whole time.
That's a sore spot with me because the way that they did him so dirty on the main roster. That's a sore spot for me. That dude should have had a rocket strap to him when he got to the main roster. He never should have been turned face. It just made no sense to me. Well, for the theme song like Glorious Domination, that's the name of it. Name of his Glorious Domination. With a theme song like that, why would you be a baby face?
Makes no sense. And he wasn't. I can't recall him ever being a baby face in Impact.
No,
maybe
early on in his career before beer money.
Right.
That's another thing. Impact had a Saturday show as well.
Today?
Briefly. It was on what was it on Fox Sports?
Okay.
It was on Fox Sports briefly because I remember I was working in South Carolina and I'd gotten out of work and I went to the bar next door and it was for a Saturday it was pretty dead, so I didn't care. I just grabbed me a beer and I sat there and I looked up and I'm like, Fox Sports, they're showing wrestling now? And it was the Road Dogg out there. I don't know who the hell he was fighting, but it was the Road Dogg.
BG James.
Yeah, BG James with Ron Killings.
The truth.
Ron the Truth.
So one point about Takeover, as good as they've been over the years, one of my, I guess, most famous misquotes, and Tim, this might have been before your time in the group, but the first time I saw Enzo and Cass was on a Takeover, and his pre-match, whatever he was doing, for that being my first time, I'm like, yo, dude is ready for the main roster. They ready for the main roster. This was like 2 years before they got there. I went as far as to say that at one point, I thought Enzo was like top 5 on the mic ever.
You know what? I can sign off on that because I was right there with you. He was on his way.
But like I was calling this dude Mike Jordan, like MIC
Jordan.
He was nice though. He put a lot into crap though. That dude. I mean, he's on record as having notebooks and notebooks of promos. The guy writes promos in his sleep. He's probably still writing promos even though he ain't got a job.
Yeah, he's working
he's a whack rapper and he's working indies.
He's working the flea markets right now.
Pretty much.
He's still writing promos too.
Probably.
And if he can't get a job, he just turn a promo into a rhyme and put it to a beat.
Yeah, but
they were over. They were super over.
They were seriously.
And then what happened was I guess Cass went crazy and Enzo just got too full of himself.
They split him up. That's what happened.
Yeah, that was that year that Vince was splitting everybody up.
That year, he's still doing it.
No, I mean
Yes.
like that year. It was like there were some big split ups that year because I remember Enzo and Cass was the one that ended it, and then like before that they split up another team that we had all sat on here and just said, how come? Why do that? It was a weird year that year because I mean we all thought that at some point that they were going to split the New Day up because Kofi was injured and they were like, oh, this is and just all the dirt sheets were like, yeah, this is when they're going to break them up, and it didn't happen. Thankfully, it didn't happen. But now it's not. They kind of broke them up.
Yeah, and it didn't make sense, but it's going to be good for Big E in the long run because he's going to get a push out of it.
True.
They got to put them back together. But I think Big E deserves a shot at a world title run as well.
Oh, that's happening. That has to happen.
It's got to happen. He's just got to dispose of Apollo first. And that's another one. I don't understand what they're doing with him. I mean, did they really have to make him go Nigerian to be a heel? I don't get what's going on there. Vince and his stereotyping stuff. I'm not getting it.
Man.
That's pretty much all it is.
That bus is always on time, man. Come on. So, yep.
Definitely give Big E his turn. Yep.
You gotta give him his turn. He'll get his turn. It's gonna happen.
I think so.
If there's I would dollars to donuts. It'll happen here pretty soon. And I eat a lot of donuts, so
I'm with you on that one.
I eat a lot of donuts, and we're still on Saturday, so why don't we after Takeover we talked All American Wrestling. I don't know if you were in on that one.
No, I was having audio issues then. I didn't catch any.
It was All American Wrestling, and I remember Mean Gene and obviously Bobby the Brain doing that. But to me, another one, and this is like later on down the line, and I joke about this all the time, but not really. The GOAT, Todd Pettengill.
Oh God, not Pettengill.
Yes, Pettengill. What?
He had a show. Live Wire was his show on Saturday mornings on USA.
Yeah, because that was right after All American. But yep, Pettengill's the GOAT. Yep.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's buying that one, Dan.
Come on.
They're not picking up what you're putting down, buddy.
That's all right. I gave myself the loser horn on that one, so it's okay. I don't care. I say it every time. That was another takeover when they brought In Your House back.
Yeah.
In Your House.
That was nice.
Let me tell you, I remember I was bouncing off the walls because Todd Pettengill opened the show. I mean, they kept it real with that one. They had the set. Even with
did they give away a house? They didn't give away a house.
That's like the only thing they didn't do.
Yeah.
That and Jeff Jarrett didn't perform.
I don't think Triple H got the company credit card for that one.
Nah. I don't think he's not quite in the will yet. So I mean, but also they had like a little homage to Doc Hendricks. Yeah, it was during the Johnny Gorgonzola match where he was walking out to the ring and that right on the wall you see a picture and they zoomed in on it of Doc Hendricks.
I must have missed that. I'm not the biggest Johnny Gorgonzola fan at all.
I know. Hey, listen. I met him at Access when I went to Mania, which is also a Saturday thing that I did. It wasn't Access. We went to the Superstore, which is right next to it. You had to pay like $55 to get into Access, and we just couldn't do it. But you walked around, and there he was. So I was on Johnny Gorgonzola's Twitter that week.
Nice.
So
while we're talking about takeovers, I got a prediction. Bold prediction.
Go ahead.
I think we will see the return of Velveteen Dream. He's been too quiet.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Hector.
That's my guy. What's up, Hector?
That's all right, man. Hector.
Hector is the reason. That's the reason I'm in wrestling. Period. Now.
Really?
Yes.
Big up. Well, then.
He's the one that sent me the
Thank you
invite.
for your contribution.
Yes, Hector. Very much. Very much. We got TTG, baby.
Thank you, Hector, for bringing me into this group of crazy, wonderful people that I really like.
You said that like you don't really. You said that like you don't typically like people, though.
I know, right?
I don't. I can count on one hand the number of people who've been in my house right now. And 2 of those are family members.
Oh man.
I mean, especially knowing that you work the graveyard shift over for the evil empire.
I live like a vampire.
Yep,
I'm a vampire for the empire.
A vampire for the evil empire. You heal it up like Monday nights when you can. You heal that up. You just go right in there and say, "Screw you guys! I'm taking this TV. I don't give a shit what's on Monday Night Football. I don't care if you want to watch the Jaguars and the Browns. You're gonna watch Monday Night Raw."
I got cursed out during the NBA Finals for doing that.
You know what? I think I might have. I think I might have turned heel on you too.
Yeah, I can already see you two would have been like.
Yep. And we the same size, yeah. I think, we that'd have been like Sheamus and Cesaro right there.
Yeah. It would have been a mega match.
Yep, and then right at the end they go out for a couple beers and just be like, "Yeah, what were we even fighting about?"
Exactly.
The remote.
That's where it starts. That's where it starts.
Oh yeah, it does.
Oh, man.
It does. But you know what? I would probably do the same thing. I'm like, it's WrestleMania week or it's Royal Rumble week. Get away from me.
Pretty much.
If we had a TV to look at, but
does anybody know aside from Cross and Finn who's on the card for Takeover?
Oh God.
They're doing 2 nights, so I mean,
pretty sure.
It's a lot. What did you say, dude?
I said, attention, Mark Jolliffe. We need your help here because I know that your shots you never have to be.
I'm pretty sure they're going to do
defending.
Yeah,
they're going to do. They're going to do Cole and O'Reilly. It's just way too much build. It'll probably be a street fight or no DQ or falls count anywhere or something like that.
It's 2 nights, so that one might be cinematic too.
Ultra violent, yeah. I would like to see Xia Li on the show.
Yeah,
she needs to be on the show with that. With the push she's getting, she needs to be on that show.
Put her in a handicap match with Caden Carter and Casey, American Ninja Warrior.
Yep.
Catanzaro.
Yeah, Mrs. Carlos Booty.
I'd buy that for $9.99.
And then I think we're gonna get EO and Raquel Gonzalez.
Yes,
those two.
She's got to sign a contract, but it's going to happen.
I'd like to see Raquel go over and then turn on Dakota Kai. That would be dope.
Mm-hmm.
That would be real nice.
Well, and since we're talking NXT,
no, because that means Dakota would have to be a baby face again, and she was so bad as a face.
True.
Well, since we're talking NXT, and you know what season we're in, because you can't not talk about what's happening on Sunday, because it's the last stop before the big one. And need I remind everybody who is watching that voting does come to an end here in a couple of weeks for our Hall of Fame class. Not theirs, ours. So vote now. Vote while you can, and you can only do it once. But Mania is coming up, and we've definitely got to see what's going on, because this is our Super Bowl. Our Super Bowl, World Series, Stanley Cup, whatever you want to call it. This is it. And it's going to be a 2-night event again.
Yep.
Which is good. Which is good because, I mean, like, seriously, sitting 8 hours at MetLife Stadium was a bit much.
That's a work shift.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, because I even went there an hour early, which I wouldn't normally do at work, but I went there an hour early because I figured, it's probably going to be hell trying to get to where I need to get to. And, I kind of want to walk around the stadium because, it's another thing I do is like bucket list thing, try to like go to every stadium that I can, like major one, like NFL mostly. So, But I got there and yeah, it was hell. And I found my seat and I'm like, yep, I think I'm probably just gonna go to the concession stand that's like 10 feet away and chill because screw this.
Hey, once in a lifetime experience, baby. I would have done it too.
Hey man, let me tell you, if that was on my bucket list, like number one, literally on my bucket list was to go to WrestleMania, and now it's gone. So I'm like, cool, all right.
Well, I mean, when the crowds come back, you can go to another one.
Hey, listen, if they do it in Vegas, when they do it in Vegas, I think I might gun for that one.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be at least 80% by then. That's what I'm shooting for too. I'd really like to go see. It doesn't even necessarily got to be a Mania for me. I just need to go see the inside of the stadium. Mania be.
Yeah, they've just started doing tours at Allegiant Stadium.
Oh, the Death Star. Yeah, I that thing is gorgeous.
Listen, I was right outside of the Death Star, and all I could do was just look at it and just shake my head, being like, they built all of this, and I can't even go in. And nobody can go in. But I mean, they had the pro shop that was open.
Imagine the investors that spent money on that stadium. How they feel?
Oh no!
Bet you they feel a whole lot worse than you.
Oh shit, definitely, they do. But hey, they just started doing tours over there.
Yeah, man, that's terrible. Terrible. Can't even go there. I would go as far as to say that's probably the prettiest stadium in the league right now.
I went and cheated and went on YouTube and looked at the tour that they have going on, and yeah, when I get out to Vegas, game or not, I'm taking the tour because they take you through the field, through the locker room, through like everything, bring you right by the torch and everything. But that was when I just seeing it from the outside looking in, it was pretty dope. But we're getting off subject and we're getting to the end because you know what? Time flies when you have fun.
It's a house of sin. Wow.
Yeah, that's real. That's real cute coming from a Broncos fan.
That's right.
Oh.
So you know what time it is now. We usually do this. We got a few minutes left. I think we can probably wrap this up with 5 minutes or so. So TTG, the floor is yours. Go ahead. Who do you want to shout out? You can plug, do whatever you want.
All right. I want first and foremost shout out you two guys for doing this show. Much success. Good luck in the future. Would love to come back anytime you guys want. Secondly, shout out Wrestling Period, because without that, none of us would be here probably. Special shout out to Austin James. Get better, buddy. Miss your brother. And if you are so inclined, you can check out my new venture. I have a gaming stream here on Facebook. It is called Rockstar Tango Gaming. Follow that. I play different games on there, mostly Division 2, Tom Clancy. Shooting people in the face is very therapeutic. So that's what we do. And other than that, that's all I got. Thanks.
All right. Well, what about you? Anybody for this week?
Just the fam, everybody. Tim, thanks for coming on. In replace of our brother Austin James, who's recovering as well as getting ready for a show, I believe, this week.
He sure is.
Yeah, we were missing the boss man today. He was tending to a personal matter, so hopefully all of that gets straightened out. Check out Mike Wesley Jr., Sports Entertainment Club. He's on Spotify. He's on Anchor. Him and his boy Pete Smith are doing their thing. They're one episode deep right now. He's informing everybody when he's going to be on and everything. Like, subscribe to us. I'm gonna say it every week, man. We trying to blow this thing up outside the group. This is our first public broadcast, so hopefully this will catch on.
Drop bows on the buttons. Drop bows on it.
Subscribe, share, tell everybody you know. That would be great. And you know what? If you got hate mail, I'm down to read that over there, man, because you know what? That always makes me laugh. So if you got hate mail, we'll read it. So, just join into the conversation. Do whatever you need to do. Join us every Thursday, 9:05, 8:05 Central on multiple platforms. Also, I guess I have the floor now.
It is your turn.
It is my turn. All right. So I just want to shout out everybody in the group this week. I had a personal matter I had to tend to, and I really didn't watch wrestling this week. But everything's going okay. I'm fine. Everybody's fine. I'm just kind of just tending to business as we speak. So, shout out to everybody. You guys are all right sometimes. But also, shout out to NFL free agency. Why? Because you've made my week that much better. The unofficial start to football season. And also, shout out to Mark Jolliffe and the Infinite Banter podcast, because you know what?
He's our sponsor.
He is our sponsor, and here's your number one source for hip-hop, all things in Chicago.
Yeah, shout out to Mark also for throwing my Wednesday Night War thread up in my place. Yeah, got caught up with this stupid stream, so I'm trying to stay on it. I'll be better next week. I promise.
Yeah, most definitely. And you know what? As you know, I had fun with you this evening. We had a good time talking about Sabado Gigante. And anytime you want in, man, there's always a chair for you.
Always a chair.
Always a chair, because, who knows? One day we might just get everybody who's been on the show all at once, because I can get up to 10 people.
Oh,
10 people in studio.
Battle Royal time.
That would be like our Royal Rumble show. What do you say about that? You get 10 people in there, and I'll just eliminate people all at once.
That would be funny as hell.
You just basically make a contest out of it.
Can we draw numbers and then appear on the show every 2 minutes until
yes
until somebody commits a mutable offense and then they gotta go?
That's exactly the rule. That is the rule.
That is booking right there, ladies and
gentlemen.
That is
hardcore.
Have you ever seen booking before? That right there was booking.
That was booking right there, and you know what? And the winner gets the grand prize of absolutely nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Sorry, I took the loser
horn
away.
Bragging rights. That's something. It's something.
I took the loser horn away, so you know what? I mean, come on.
I live 10 minutes from a mall. I can get a shirt put together or something like that.
Yeah.
Filler segment T-shirt.
Yeah.
Filler segment merch.
Filler segment, and you know what? We will actually be taking submissions for any logos that you guys may want to make for us, and you will get full credit indeed. Maybe even a spot on the show. Who knows?
Tim, that includes you too. I saw what you did for Mike.
Exactly.
I knew that was coming. See what I can put together, though. I can put something together for you.
Oh, here we go.
Me and Marky would be eliminated first, guaranteed. Nah.
Well, on that note, get off the internet and go to bed. and we will see you guys next week for TTG, baby. For Big Willie Rich right here. Like, subscribe, and follow. I'm Dan. This is the filler segment.
Beijing, baby.
Dig it. See ya.